We need to continue to talk about boundaries because we need these, especially when talking with family, sometimes older folk, and oh my God, religious folk as well. Sometimes these people can be extra pushy. Anyways, let's get to this post. She says, am I the a-hole for not wanting to respond to my husband's grandma's phone calls because she's trying to convert me to her religion? She's trying to convert you to her religion. She's being pushy. Absolutely not the a-hole based on the title alone. These pushy older folks need to get themselves some business, but since they probably don't have any, they meddle in yours. These busy body betties, excuse me, my alliteration messed up. All right, let's check out the post. She says, my husband is very close to his grandmother. A little background on my husband. He grew up in the Jehovah's Witness religion. His parents always pushed these beliefs on him, leading him to grow to rebel and resent them for it in his teenage years. He is now an atheist and does not associate with the religion. His grandmother calls me often, and the conversation will usually steer towards the topic of Jehovah's Witnesses and how I should pray and put my faith in Jehovah, how she wants my husband and I to go to meetings with our children. Mind you, we don't have kids. She speaks of our theoretical future kids, which I do not want. This is something else that really gets to me, but I feel this isn't my biggest issue at the moment. We are young, and also this is no one's business but our own. I get so tired of these people trying to push their beliefs. It is perfectly fine for you to have beliefs in your religion, but why can't they be your personal beliefs instead of you being pushy and in someone else's face about your religion? All right, these calls have been happening more frequently ever since my husband has been deployed. I live alone and have no friends. My family lives in another state. This makes me feel like she's trying to take this opportunity to push these beliefs even more now that I'm alone and vulnerable. I don't want to keep agreeing and during every phone call. A part of me wants to ignore her phone calls because I have no idea how to deal with this. I feel bad because, like me, she struggles with depression and I'm sure she misses her grandson. I miss him too, but these calls are anything but comforting. Am I the a-hole? So absolutely not. She's not the a-hole. And yeah, she's going to have to let some of these phone calls get missed. And if she does answer these phone calls from this busybody Betty, she's going to have to find something really important to do, or there's going to be an emergency coming in and she's going to have to get off the phone with this woman because some of these people just won't stop. You can say, I hear you. I understand that your beliefs are very important to you, but I'm not religious. I'm not going to go to church with you. And I know that that's kind of hard to say to old folks, but you kind of just have to tell them. And, it's just like, I'm uncomfortable with continuing down this conversation and see what they say. And then you have to go from there. But after a while, you're going to have to stop answering the phone because I don't think that some of these people can stop being pushy because they believe that their beliefs are the best and only way, which is wild because I think that only 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses can even get into heaven. And I'm totally sure that more than 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses have died unless they're cycling through heaven and some of them have to come down and then others go back up. I'm not exactly sure how the whole cycle and process and numbers work, if heaven has expanded to let more people in or not. Someone will have to let me know in the comments because I don't know. Some of the comments. This person says, the proper response is, faith is very personal to me and my relationship to God is between me and him. I'd enjoy discussing anything else with you, but not that. Confused at 63 says, this is a very polite and firm response with the other option being, 1, stop answering the phone when she calls, or 2, to end the call the moment she brings up Jehovah's Witness stuff. 3, you can also ask her if she isn't breaking the rules by talking to the wife of a disfellowshipped ex-member who is in agreement with her grandson on his beliefs about the JW cult. 4, if you insult her religion, she might blow you off. You are not obligated to have a relationship with her if you don't want to, or it does not add something positive to your life. Rebecca says 3 is an especially valid point given Grandma is Jehovah's Witness. They are absolutely supposed to cut off and shun any ex-members and their supporters. Armed with Jello says, we had a tenant who was an ex-member. She answered the door and told 2 old ladies she was disfellowshipped, and they ran away, and none of them returned for a long time. It was awesome. Yes. See, that is a great point. No writer says it depends on if he ever became a member of the church. Your parents being a member doesn't automatically make you a member too. If he never officially joined, then they don't need to shun him. Dry Pickle Juice says he may not have been baptized or done baptism study, so his soul is up for grabs still, as is hers. JW's preaching and converting is a large part of the faith, so Grandma feels morally compelled to. Morgalisa says, exactly. And if they feel compelled and you don't feel compelled to answer the phone, then, then problem solved. Because if they just keep badgering you, just keep calling, you're going to have to just make her phone calls go to silent. You're going to have to just stop allowing her to bother you, because if she's going to just continue on down that path and not stop, then you have to take some onus to make it so that the phone doesn't ring on your end. Block her for a couple of months or something. Maybe take her off block once he gets back around so he can handle his conversations with his grandmother. Mrs. Gibb says, or 5, pretend you're about to convert to become a Wiccan and start preaching back with the same vigor. Call her randomly to talk about being Wiccan. I promise you she'll stop calling you. Gary says, or don't pretend. Tell her you're a witch. I love telling Jehovah's Witness and Mormons at the door that I'm pagan. The JWs leave quickly. I've had wonderful chats with Mormon folk though, about everything but religion. Diligent Brother says, haha, was about to tell that to religious people going around my neighborhood, but they skipped my place totally. Hit my neighbors, though. Dang, he was about to say, I am a wizard. I have magical powers, and I'm about to turn you to a frog. That would be amazing. That is amazing. Anyways, let me know what you think. As you can tell, if you're new here, I'm agnostic. I grew up Black Baptist down in Oklahoma. And yeah, I'm no longer religious at all. Well, it's not even that I was religious. I just had no choice when I was living with my parents. So I had to go to church. Once I got the opportunity to leave my parents' home and to leave the church, I left. And I'm no longer religious at all. So it definitely is irritating when people don't respect your beliefs or lack thereof because they think that their way is the best way. And they're typically the ones that are the pushy ones. Like, I'm just sitting over here living my life. Why are you in my business? I didn't ask you about your beliefs. You can have your beliefs. I don't care. But unless I ask you to, preach to me, can you leave me alone? That's how I feel about things. Y'all can let me know how you feel about this. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this young lady, she's 21. She posted in the Am I Overreacting subreddit. And when I read this as a 44-year-old auntie-age Black woman who's been natural longer than she's been alive, this definitely touched me. Before I show you the screenshots, I'm going to tell you what she said in her caption. So the boyfriend is 22. She's 21. She says, my boyfriend and I have been official for almost 4 weeks. He texts me this after leaving me with his friends shortly after I arrived to a restaurant they all planned to meet at. So he left her. She says, before I got there, he had already ordered for both of us. Everything seemed fine until about 10 minutes later when I went to the bathroom. When I came back, his friends told me he stepped out, but I'm sure they knew what was going on based on their expressions. I waited about 15 minutes before he replied to my text. I ended up leaving money to pay for food I didn't even get to eat. This was my 3rd time wearing my hair in its natural state since we've dated, and I didn't know he felt so strongly about this. I went home without answering him. I was really upset and told my roommate about it, but she brushed it off and insinuated that I was overreacting. It's been almost 2 days now and still don't know what to think. I feel like I'm going insane because everyone around me seems to think it's not that big of a deal, and most of them laughed at the picture. And so back to the screenshot text. This is where she's sitting in the question marks, wondering where did he go? And then he just answers with a question mark. And then he says, it makes me upset when I bring you to a nice restaurant and you wear your puff instead of taming it down or something nicer. I know it's your natural hair, but I see girls your complexion with their hair done, and it makes me wish it was different for us. So that right there is a problem for me because he thinks that having a certain complexion means that you're going to have a certain hair type. So that's already ignorance. And the thing is, having our hair done sometimes means it's in a natural, like an afro, or it's in a puff, or it's in twists, or it's in the state that she styled it in. That is done as long as it's combed and neat and clean and ready to go. But y'all, he used an AI image to create a Black woman whose hair he liked. It's already problematic that when they say they want a natural Black woman, that they need some loosely curled hair, like hair that doesn't always equate to what our hair grows out of our hair looking like, our head looking like. Some of us have very tightly coiled hair, and it's not going to look like this, even if we try to make it look done. I don't like that. It's like I thought, the natural hair movement was happening back in the early 2000s. And I thought that we had moving past this conversation that we're still having. It's like when when they talk about they don't want women with with makeup or wigs and weaves and all that. And then they give you pictures and it's just like, yeah, no. Like they literally don't even care to understand how much manipulation it takes to get like that. And then when a woman busts out with a weave or a wig that looks like that, they'll still talk mess about her. But then at the bottom of he's like, something like this maybe when we're going out would be nice, don't you think? Ugh, ugh. Just break up with him. Just break up with him. He doesn't like you with your natural hair. There's going to be times when you just throw your hair in a puff because it takes too long sometimes to manipulate our hair to get it to fall down. And then if you have tightly coiled hair, it's going to coil right back up, depending on if you go sweat or if it's humid outside or whatever. Infinite Quarter says, not him sending you an AI picture for inspiration. Not overreacting. He's a D. Girls Club says, literally went out of his way and time to search that up too. OP, he's an a-hole. Cheerful Embalmer says he had to send an AI photo to get an image of the fantasy in his head he wants. Leaving a restaurant is throwing a childish fit over something he should have no opinion about. You should be free to wear what's comfortable and dress how you like. That includes how to style your hair or let it be neutral. She's probably saying natural. Whenever I dated someone and was not sure about if the situation is a red flag, I pretend they are dating my sister, my daughter, whatever, even if it's an imaginary person. If you would not want them treating someone else that way, why would you let them treat you that way? If you settle down with somebody, would you want them being the representation to your children of, maybe she meant what a man should be and how they should handle situations like these? Adventurous Else says, as a man, I think this post needs to be way higher. Absolutely brilliant advice. Don't know why I clarified that I'm male, but meh, great advice, everyone. When men say, as a man, I always have to, as a man. That makes the opinion more validating, more valuable. Eek Amuse says, excellent advice. How would you feel if your best friend was treated this way? Or if you were reading this post about somebody else? Now you need to learn to react the same way when someone treats you poorly. You need to value yourself so highly that you expect to be treated well and react right away when someone treats you like the second he sent you that, you should have thought, he can't handle my beautiful natural hair. F him and block. Oberon says, great advice. Often we think we might not be able to do better or deserve better, but think anyone else we know and care about would definitely deserve better. And I want us to believe better for ourselves or want better for ourselves. We all deserve to have people who love and appreciate us the way we show up in the world. Okay, so the OP chimed in. She says, just going through the comments and messages now. Yes, my account is real and I'm not a bot. I don't know why that's a thing. Also, yes, these comments made me realize how much hatred has been directed towards me. What I think people don't get is that things like this have unfortunately become normalized in the environment where I grew up. I will try to respond after things have calmed down, but as for a small update, my roommate ended up letting him into our apartment for him to talk. What threw me off is that he seemed angry instead of apologetic. I made it clear that I didn't want to talk and then left. This whole thing has become a mess, so I'm sorry if I seem ignorant to the supportive messages so far, but they have really helped, so thank you. And I want to make it clear that a lot of the negative comments that we get come from Black people some of the time, a lot of the time. Like when I first went natural and had a teeny weeny afro, it was definitely Black women looking at me, wondering why I chopped my hair off, and why I was looking like a little boy and calling me names and that kind of thing. It was Black women. And a lot of times Black men act like they like your hair natural, but they really don't. They kind of like that mixed biracial loose pattern, and they'll let you know that they don't like that. And we have got to get to the point where we're not looking for outside validation for how we feel about our hair. And I know that that's hard, especially if your childhood wasn't rooted in building up your self-esteem and self-confidence. So that's the reason why I'm doing this post to begin with. Routine requirement says, I'm an old Black woman and let me give you some advice. Run far away from these people. They don't and will never have your best interest at heart. Your roommate doesn't understand boundaries either. You do not want to develop a complex that will cost you years and thousands of dollars in therapy to fix. Lornesto says, honestly, that dude sounds like a prick, and it sounds like your roommate sucks too. You can do better than those people. 11 Corky 11 says, your roommate sucks just as much as your boyfriend. May they both become your exes. I agree with all three of those. I hope that she runs away from these people. So she comes back and gives us an update. She says, thank you for anyone who left supportive messages on the post. Just as I was going to reply, I was unable to respond as the post appears locked now. I don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring them or anything. I just needed time to get my life together. If you know what happened in my last short update. But anyways, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting the amount of support I've gotten. Happiness Buzzer says, didn't get to reply before the post got locked. Without going on a rant, you deserve someone who appreciates all of you. Natural Black woman hair is as gorgeous as any other, and it does things that many other ethnicities' hair cannot do. With some work, you could straighten it, curl it again, damage the F out of it, or you can wear it in all its glory the way it sits and revel in the fact that most of us on the planet couldn't get our hair to do that even if we tried. I'm so glad that women are coming together to try to build up this young lady's self-esteem. She says, I don't think this bozo appreciates how much time it takes to do hair, how changing yours is basically a long-term commitment. She says, screw him, but not literally. And I completely agree with that assessment. Spooky says, that's right. He doesn't appreciate or care about the time it would take. OP is better off without this loser. And then this person says, OP, please watch a clip from Love Island, France, Cindy and Edgar. That is how a man should be react seeing your natural hair. And then Joseph says, just saw the other post. I love my wife. She is beautiful to me no matter what she does and no matter how her hair is, what she wears, or anything. If this man is complaining about how you have your hair, then he is shallow, not worth your time, and things will get much worse later on. He isn't interested in you, excuse me, in you. But just interested in having arm candy that he deems acceptable. And I'm glad that a man weighed in, and I'm glad that this young lady has only been with this man for a month. She needs to get away and find someone that accepts all of her, because she's out here just living her life. And sometimes some of our hair comes out of our head, kinky, curly, straight, whatever. Men need to move past this, issue that they have with hair. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. For some of us, it's been a challenging week, and I bet you a find out season post with passport bros will make you smile. So that's what we got. So this was posted in the Passport Bros subreddit. This was sent to me. This person says, Cebu trip report. I'm a 22-year-old guy from Scotland, and I arrived in Cebu a week ago for the first time. I was excited to explore the city and meet a traditional Filipina girl. The first few days were amazing, going on dates and exploring the city, but I noticed that Filipino guys would give me a lot of attitude and were aggressive towards me. I was walking around when I met this Filipina at a coffee shop and got her number. We arranged a date and we went to Jollibee. Afterwards, we went back to my condo and we hooked up. We continued talking, and then these two Filipino guys walked in and robbed the place. I tried to stop them, but they beat me up and the girl ran off. After this incident, I called the police, but they were of no help. 2 days later, I got mugged on my way back from a night partying uptown. Yet again, the police were of no help, even though I lost my iPhone and 10,000 pesos in cash. I want to warn every guy who wants to visit Cebu to be careful, as it's very dangerous. I've spoken to other foreigners while here, and they've shared similar experiences. I think it's safer to search for traditional women in other places and not dangerous places like Cebu. And so I want to just take the time to say, he wanted to meet a traditional Filipina girl. And then he took a traditional Filipina girl, I guess, to Jollibee and then took her up to hook up in the same day. I am not sure if we have the same definitions of traditional at this particular juncture in life. But like I said, we all need this type of story. I'm not sure if this is real or not, but it definitely warmed my heart to think that this woman opened the door, let these men in, and then he got robbed. And then he got mugged again. I don't know, but it just warms my heart that this man took his time out to go from Scotland and then just pour money into their economy by being there. MF Doom says, OP, I was excited to explore the city and meet a traditional Filipina girl. Also, OP, we went back to my condo and we hooked up. Insert Nick Young meme face, this one where he's looking confused. She wasn't traditional if all it took was a cheap Jollibee meal. She did that with a lot of foreign tourists before you. LOL. Maram is wondering, how do two Filipino guys walk into your apartment and rob the place? Do you not lock the doors and call the cops? And then the OP says she opened the door for them and ran out. I believe she set me up considering she blocked me after the incident. And then my rum is like, what? Why did you let her open the door for them? Also, you should have interviewed her much harder before you brought her back to your place. You might have been followed after you met her. Should have checked your surroundings. And to be honest, should have just stuck with online dating or gone to Manila. Don't douche in places that aren't major cities. And then the OP says they didn't knock. She just opened the door and they came in. She ran away once they came into the room. I tried to get them to leave, but they beat me up and took my stuff. I had to buy a new phone and everything. And this person, Into the Wild, says, you chose a very weird place to live in. In the Philippines, most places where foreigners live have very strict rules and guards everywhere. Your guest can't run out as her ID is in the guardhouse, and she won't get it back without you. Strangers can't even enter areas without guards asking you to come to the gate and check them in and taking their IDs. So these people are really trying to give him the hints, the to-dos for the next time he goes and tries to hook up with a traditional woman. I was sent these screenshots from the Passports Are Winning Facebook group. It says, for immediate release, Prague. The Passports Are Winning team is officially issuing a travel advisory to Colombia due to recent events in the country. Too many of our brothers have been getting drugged and robbed under duress. Please exercise increased caution if you plan to travel to Colombia, particularly to Cartagena. The Passport Bros Are Winning team will continue to monitor the situation and issue additional advisories and warnings as necessary. The Passport Bros Are Winning team also strongly urges the Colombian government to remedy this issue. And they're talking to the Colombian government by making posts in Facebook. Vanity says, keep going. The Colombian women really love you. Yes, they love them. Go ahead, keep going. It's hilarious because there's all of these laugh reactions. Jazzy says, or watch your surroundings, stop acting and dressing the way you do, and that wouldn't happen. Putting yourself in danger is crazy. And there's two sides to every story. Someone's not admitting they just wanted to have a better time. And then the passports are winning person says, Jazzy, nobody is putting themselves in danger. Stop blaming our brothers for actions committed against them. The passports are winning team will not stand for this conduct. It is so apparent why my black brothers are trying to get away from loudmouth American black women. This has got to be parody because this is so hilarious. This has got to be. And to be clear, I don't care if this is parody because sometimes we do need some lightheartedness. Shirley says, oh, poor Ting Tinks, the women y'all try to take advantage of because their economic situations are not so submissive and friendly after all. And then she does a sad face. And then the passports are winning team says, silence, harlot. I see why my black brothers are getting their passports at record numbers. You American black women can't stay out of men's business and are too loudmouth. And then Jazzy cackles in heathen. Yes, that is what I'm doing because even the thought of this makes me chuckle on the inside, and then it escapes in a loud, ravenous laughter. It is amazing. Erica simply says the passport bros are losing. And then this lady at the bottom says sorrows, sorrows, prayers. And yes, we have no, I'm sorry, we don't. We have concepts of sorrow for them. Now we have this post. I was sent this screenshot. Jeff says, people ask me why my preferred age range for a female is 18 to 22. Have you seen the females around my age? Wrinkles everywhere, moles, cellulite, extended stomachs, moles, menopause, moles, and hair where hair shouldn't be. He has a real issue with moles. All right. Younger females know how to take care of themselves and make themselves presentable and desirable for a man. Older females just stop caring and taking care of themselves as they age. I hate to say it as a white man, but white females are the worst with this. Then they wonder why men like me grab their passports and head east. And this has a bunch of laugh reacts as well. This is Jeff, and this is his background picture. Okay, so Rob says, by the looks of things, you're describing yourself. And to that, Jen says, right. Jeff looks like a wrinkled ball sack. And then Jen again says, if the hair is growing where it shouldn't be, then why does hair grow there in the first place, Jeff? Do you shave between your booty cheeks? Caleb reminded Jeff what he looks like. Rebecca said, damn, Paul Blart has let himself go. Daniel says the audacity and irony of him saying older women don't care about their looks when he looks like the Wish version of Mr. Potato Head. Yes, that is a very round head, a very potato-shaped head. Joshua wants to see a picture of his wife. I bet she's beautiful. Totally sure that is not that's not sarcasm at all. Jade says, okay, buddy, good luck. Just wait till you get to Thailand. Many surprises await. And then she gives a picture of Mr. Potato Head as well. And I have to laugh about Jen again because she says, I want to play with your double chin. Play it like a banjo. Anna says, Jen, this is golden. I sent you a friend request. And to that, Jen just said, no. Anna says, all right, well, you're still hilarious. Jen says, thank you. I try sometimes. Jen is not pulling any punches. Jen is here simply to snap on Jeff, and that is it. She is not here to make friends. All right, y'all. Hopefully you got a giggle out of these posts. I certainly did. We need a little levity at times. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Did you laugh? I don't care if these are real or not, but if you laughed, go ahead and let me know that you laughed. Bye.
To everyone defending Elon and what he did, I want you to do it. Do it. Post yourself on here doing it. Do it when you guys greet each other in public. Come on, have it be your thing. Own the libs, right? Prove to us that it wasn't what we thought it was. Do it.